Good morning. My name is Debo Onifade. Today, I'd like to continue from where I stopped yesterday. Yesterday, I talked about different stack that will remain relevant in Nigeria for a long time. I talked about areas you should focus on if you're living in Nigeria and you want to, stay relevant. I talked about C Sharp, .NET. And the reason is because the banks are the largest employers of software developers in Nigeria today, and most of them have built their software around C Sharp, backend, C Sharp, .NET, and it's going to stay like that for a long time. Uh, and I said that the banks will continue to hire developers for support, even if they're not building new solutions, and that's an area to consider. I also talked about reactJS, JavaScript, for front-end development, and quality assurance. I talked about JMeter being, a recently common tool that the banks are using and will continue to use for a long time. Of course, many of them are also using Cypress, Selenium, and so on. Today, I just like to talk about. I like to start from cloud computing. So many Nigerian banks are gradually moving to cloud computing, and if you're considering AWS or Azure, the reality is right now Azure is currently dominating the market. So if you want to go into cloud computing and DevOps, you should think Azure. You should think Azure DevOps because you now have people trying to use Kubernetes and so on. But fundamentally, you want to think Microsoft, you want to think Azure. If you're considering DevOps or if you're considering cloud computing uh, as a career in Nigeria. And in the area of mobile development, I know one or two banks that have used Xamarin, but generally people are consistently moving to, Kotlin for Android development and Swift for iOS development. Flutter is upcoming, not yet common in the banking sector, and if some fintech companies are using it, but I think Kotlin is still predominant in Nigeria for Android, and Swift is still also predominant for iOS. I think in future there'll be fintechs, smaller fintechs that will probably consider, cross-platform language like Flutter. So you may consider that.